10 countries that secretly don't want immigrants. Immigration has become one of the most debated issues in global politics. While many countries publicly welcome newcomers, some have quietly made it much harder to move in. From hidden legal loopholes to silent crackdowns. Here are 10 countries that secretly don't want immigrants. You might be surprised who's on this list. Let's start with Japan. The country is famous for its order, cleanliness, and strong cultural identity. But it's also one of the most closed-off nations when it comes to immigration. Despite a shrinking population and labor shortage, Japan only accepts a tiny number of immigrants each year. Even refugee acceptance is below 1% annually. Language barriers, complex visa rules, and social isolation discourage outsiders from staying long-term. Behind Japan's polite hospitality is a system that favors cultural preservation over multiculturalism. South Korea. Modern and globally connected? Absolutely. But welcoming to immigrants? Not so much. Korea has strict visa requirements and very limited paths to permanent residency or citizenship. There's also a subtle but strong social pressure. Many immigrants say they never feel fully accepted. Even Korean-born children of immigrants often struggle with legal status and integration. The country's focus on ethnic unity quietly shuts the door on outsiders. 3. Switzerland. Switzerland may seem like a European paradise, neutral, rich, and scenic. But behind the postcard views lies a strict immigration system. In recent years, Swiss citizens have voted for tighter immigration rules, including quotas on EU workers. Local communities even get a say in whether someone can become a citizen. Immigrants often face hurdles in housing, work, and social inclusion. It's a beautiful country, but not necessarily a welcoming one. For Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, millions of foreign workers help run the economy, especially in construction and domestic labor. But make no mistake, long-term immigration isn't on the table. Foreign workers can't own property, can't become citizens, and are tied to the kafala sponsorship system, which many call exploitative. Despite working there for decades, most migrants are always just visitors in the eyes of the law. It's one of the clearest examples of a country that relies on immigrants, but doesn't want them to stay. Hungary. Hungary has become a stronghold of anti-immigration sentiment in Europe. Prime Minister Viktor Orban has built border fences, run anti-refugee campaigns, and passed laws limiting asylum. Even EU citizens are finding it harder to settle there. Hungary argues it's protecting its culture and sovereignty, but critics say it's fueling xenophobia. Either way, the message is clear: Hungary wants fewer immigrants, not more. 6. Australia. Australia's stunning beaches and high quality of life attract people from around the world. But behind the scenic image is one of the world's toughest immigration systems. While skilled workers and students are welcome on paper, Australia quietly makes it difficult for refugees and low-skilled migrants. The government has detained asylum seekers in offshore camps for years, sparking international criticism. Australia may be multicultural, but it controls exactly who gets to be part of that mix. Israel. Israel's immigration policy is largely based on one thing: religion. Under the law of return, Jews from anywhere in the world can become citizens. But others, including African asylum seekers, face high rejection rates and pressure to leave. There have been protests, arrests, and even cash incentives for voluntary departure. Israel welcomes immigrants, just not all kinds. 8. Denmark. Denmark often ranks as one of the happiest countries on earth. But if you're a refugee or an immigrant, it's a different story. Recent policies include revoking residency for Syrians, cutting welfare for newcomers, and setting ghettos for integration. Some laws even target immigrants indirectly by focusing on non-Western backgrounds. Denmark doesn't openly say it wants fewer immigrants, but its policies do. 9. United Arab Emirates. Like Saudi Arabia, the UAE depends on foreign workers, who make up nearly 90% of the population. Yet none of them can become citizens, no matter how long they stay. There are limited paths to permanent residence, and work visas are tightly controlled. Migrant workers live in a legal grey zone, needed but not fully welcomed. For many, the dream of long-term stability is just that, a dream. 10. Finland. Finland is peaceful, progressive, and widely admired. But it's not immune to anti-immigration trends. While its official policies are fair, a quiet pushback has been building. Far-right parties have gained ground by criticizing immigration and multiculturalism. The asylum approval rate has dropped, and public opinion is turning cautious. Finland still lets immigrants in, but with growing resistance under the surface. So what does all this mean? In a world that's more connected than ever, many countries are tightening their borders. Some do it in plain sight. Others quietly change laws, delay visas, or create systems that push newcomers out. Every country has the right to protect its identity and economy. But it's important to recognize when that turns into exclusion. Immigration is a complex issue filled with fear, hope, and politics. The next time you hear everyone's welcome, you might want to look a little closer. If you found this video eye-opening, hit the like button and subscribe for more global insights. Let us know in the comments. Which country surprised you the most? And do you think immigration should be more open or more restricted? Thanks for watching.